What up, B Squad? It is me, JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Baddies USA, right? Season, Chapter 1, Season 8, Episode, I think this is Episode 11. If it's not, my bad. But this episode was titled "What Up, Though." So we know that they are heading to Detroit. So if you're watching this video or any other on the channel and you're not subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out in this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's jump into this episode of Baddies, shall we? Now, this episode it was action packed. I will say that I don't have a lot of notes, but I will say it was an action packed episode because I think like the first 30 minutes we spent it on the bus. So the episode opens where the last one ended, and that was with Cold Killer. No, not Cold Killer, but Dolly and what's her name? Dolly and Tinker fighting with each other, right? Now, what I will say is, I ain't gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, Dolly beat Tinker up," or "Oh, Tinker beat Dolly up." I will say they gave as good as they got, right? Because both of them were towed up by the end of that fight because they went tumbling down the stairs, and I was like, "Wow." Now, at one point, I did notice that Tinker had a black eye. I was like, "Girl, your eye is black as hell, just black." So Dolly got some good hits in, right? But even Dolly in her interview was like, when it came to me and Tinker fighting, the stairs beat us both up. I was like, I'll give you that too, cause y'all went tumbling. I know y'all limbs was hurting, cause mine was hurting for you, right? So then you got outside the bus, Mariah Lynn decides she wants to check DJ Sky about messing up her set. The way that Mariah Lynn was talking to DJ Sky, you a better person than I could ever hope to be. Because ain't nobody finna sit there in my face and talk to me the way that Mariah was talking to DJ Sky. Because essentially, Mariah was sunning DJ Sky. And I would have hauled off and smacked the hell out of her ass. Like, girl, who the fuck you talking to? Like, no, ma'am. Like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, no, ma'am. But hey, it is what it is. But DJ Sky didn't do nothing to her, right? So then you got Dolly and it's a whole lot of commotion going on, right? Then I realized they had some food for the girls. I was like, y'all are actually feeding them. So we see Dolly and Tinka arguing with each other. So then Dolly is in the doorway behind not Rolly, but Biggie's behind, right? So Summer is sitting on the steps and Dolly kicked her in the head. I was like, damn. So then they get back on the bus, and it's so much shit going on. Like, it was so much shit going on this fucking bus. And I couldn't do shit but laugh. You know what? I have to agree with you. This was Dolly's episode. This was Dolly's episode. I'm not even really mad at Dolly. There were some things that Dolly said that I was like, I didn't agree with her saying it. Basically, her talking about Cold Killer's kids. Leave the kids out of this. The kids ain't got nothing to do with this. I thought that was low for her to mention her kids, right? But it was funny to me because when Summer and Dolly were arguing with each other, Lex was like, "Nah, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean to do it. She didn't mean to kick you." Lex, she absolutely meant to kick Summer. Which, Summer, you a weirdo too. If I'm being honest with myself, you a weirdo. I don't give a. Here's my thing. Me and my friend, we can fall out today, and that's between me and my friend. But I'm never gonna sit up here and link up with somebody that my friend either just fought or has beef with. That means y'all weren't really friends like that. If you can link up with somebody so quick. Oh, I like Tinker. I like Tinker. Girl, since when have you liked Tinker? Please let me know when you started liking Tinker, because I don't remember it, right? So again, it's a melee going on this fucking bus, right? So at one point, Dolly tried to kick Tinka in the face, and she was inches from kicking that girl straight dead in the face with them Tims on. I was like, damn, if that had connected with that girl's face, you probably would have broke her nose. Now, this is my only issue when it comes, not my only issue, I have a lot of issues with baddies, but this is a liability risk. Like, damn, like y'all go hella hard sometimes. So I think it was Fauna who was basically like, let them fight. Because security was trying to break it up, stop Dolly and all that kind of stuff. Because Dolly was telling security to let her foot go and all that kind of stuff, right? So she get down, her and Tinker, they square up and they fight. And they fight in that little cramped ass space in the hallway. What I will say is, because I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, Tinker beat Dolly up" or "Oh, Dolly beat Tinker up," because I really, honestly, even with both rounds that they fought, they were given as good as they get. Like Tinker was, I couldn't tell if Tinker, well, actually, I couldn't tell who the fuck was who at one point. Could not tell, but I know that they was both swinging. So I ain't gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, Tinker told Dolly up," or "Oh, Dolly told Tinker up." But again, what I will say about Tinker is, girl, that eye was black. Your eye, I don't know if it's your left eye or if it's your right eye, but one of your eyes was black as fuck. So Dolly got you good in that eye because you ain't gonna put nothing. Wait a minute, or did Tinker already have a black eye? Either way, go. Dolly got some hits in with you. You got some hits in with her, right? And so then Summer and Dolly, they starting to argue with each other, right? And this is why I say it's weird, and this is weird on both parts, Dolly and Tinker, not Tinker, but Summer, in my personal opinion, because I have to agree with Cole Killer when it comes down to it. I have to agree with Cole Killer. It's weird that you guys were once friends with each other, but now that it's Mad Day, y'all airing each other's business out because both of y'all are saying the other person does coke. And I'm like, damn, even if that is true, and once upon a time, it's supposed to be your girl, it's supposed to be your friend, but now you want to air her business out. Like, I don't have no respect for that, right? So I'm with Cole Killer. Now, would I have addressed it? Probably not, because it ain't got shit to do with me. Let Summer and Dolly had a issue. That's where I got an issue with Cole Killer. You should have let them two argue. Again, is it weird? Absolutely. So this is where Cole Killer and Dolly start fighting with each other, right? I was like, oh fuck. I wasn't expecting them two to fight each other. And as much as I'm not a fan of Dolly, Cole Killer, and I like Cole Killer, I gotta be honest. Cole Killer, you should have stayed out of there because that again, that ain't had shit to do with you. Like Dolly said, if her and her girl get into it, y'all don't get involved in it. So I gotta give Dolly credit for that one. So they went their first round. In my personal opinion, I think Dolly got Cole Killer. Do I think she just flat out tore Cole Killer up? No, but she definitely gave it to Cole Killer, right? So Biggie. Biggie was getting on my motherfucking nerves. You would think that this is Biggie's first season on Baddies, and she don't know what the fuck to expect. Because Biggie is doing the most about the tacos. I was like, Biggie, did you eat or did you not eat? Like, you doing the most. So then she got upset because they started throwing the tacos and her hair got wet. So she decides to call Natalie up. I was like, girl, why did you call Natalie? What is Natalie gonna do about them throwing the fucking tacos? You saw that Anna nor Tasiki got on the bus. Why are you not riding with Anna and Tasiki? Biggie, you a weirdo. Like Biggie gets on my fucking nerves. Cause and Biggie, when she called Natalie up, she's been so fucking extra. I was like, Biggie, sit your ass down, go to sleep, take a nap, do something. Was your hair pretty? It was. But did it fuck up your wig? From where I'm looking, it didn't fuck up your wig. So Biggie was just doing way too much, in my personal opinion. Like getting on my fucking nerves. And I was so happy that Fauna was calling her out. And like I said a few minutes ago, it's like Biggie is acting like this is her first season of Baddies, and it's not. I don't know how many seasons Biggie has been on, but like Biggie was just doing the most, and I was over Biggie, right? So then you hear Gretchen in the back of the bus. Gretchen is asking, "Where are Suki and Sapphire?" I was like, "For what, girl? You done already fought them. Let it go. It ain't much else to do with those two." So moving on. So then Cold Killer out of nowhere just swung on Dolly, and Dolly was on the table and she fell. I was like, well, damn. I mean, hey, there's no such thing as a fair fight, right? So I ain't upset that Cold Killer snuck her. If that's what she felt like she had to do, then that is what Cold Killer felt like she had to do. Would I have necessarily done it? No, wouldn't be me, right? But hey, they did that. So then they fought another round. Now this second round, Dolly definitely got Cold Killer once again because Cold Killer fell back, and so Dolly was on top of her. Now this is where I was kind of confused at this fight with Dolly and Tavy. That was just so random. Like I don't know where the fuck that came from. I don't know where, how, and why Dolly and Tavy fought each other, but they fought each other nonetheless. I hope that this is the last time that we see those. Like there are certain people that I don't want to see fight again when it comes to baddies, right? Like I don't want to see Lex and Tavy fight. I don't want to see Lex and Fauna fight. I don't want to see Killer and Tinker fight. I don't want to see Killer and Dolly fight. Like I don't want to see these people fight again because they don't fought too many rounds with each other. After a certain point, you just got to be like, okay, we done had our fights. Either you whooped my ass, I whooped your ass, and we can move the fuck on. That's where I want us to be when it comes to these people. And that's just how I feel. You guys may disagree, but it is what it is. So after that, we see as Natalie is out doing quote unquote business at this place called the Backpack Boys, right? This was the weirdest business move I've ever saw. We're not in an office. We're not in an office. There's no contracts drawn up. Maybe this was some stuff that she did behind the scenes, and she just wanted to make this a scene. I don't know, but it was just very weird to me. So she has it's her, Rolly, Tommy's drunk ass, and Janelle, who says she's allergic to weed. So I was like, then girl, what are you doing here? If you don't smoke it, whatever. Again, I don't really care, but they do that, right? So Tommy is Rolly is telling Tommy about what happened at the performance the night before, right? When she punched her in the fucking nose, right? I'm sorry. When I saw that clip of Tommy putting her arm around Rolly's neck and clocking Rolly in the nose, I couldn't do shit but laugh because it was funny to me. But I get where Rolly is coming from. Like, girl, if you do that shit to somebody else, they probably would have hauled off and smacked your ass. But I knew you didn't mean no harm by it. And then she was like, and then you put your arms around me, around my neck, and you were choking me. So I get where Rolly is coming from, right? Then they told her about how what's her name? Biggie feels about being told she's not Beyonce. Well, girl, you're not Beyonce, so I mean that ain't that ain't a negative to you, but I mean, hey, Biggie just gives very, very sensitive. Like Biggie is just too sensitive for me. But that's that. They also did talk about the fact that Dolly didn't go to the performance the night before in Chicago. So Rolly says that Dolly had gotten, I guess Dolly had gotten into a fight with a girl at the Baddies auditions. Now I don't know nothing about that, so whatever. But she didn't come to the performance because of that. I was like, ooh. But I mean, I guess if you don't want, if you feel like you got into it with a girl and she might try to bring her people out to jump you, I ain't even mad about that. Like shit, I wouldn't show up either. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, Dolly is ducking wreck. I don't know the situation. Don't care to know the situation, but hey, that's all I got. And then we see as Scotty, Jayla, Tasiki, Suki, and Sapphire, they all met up with each other, right? Now before Jayla and Scotty got there, it was just Tasiki, Sapphire, and Suki. And they were talking about the whole situation with Dolly on the bus, right? Because none of them were on the bus. Now Tasiki was on the bus at one point, but when her and Tika got the fighting, she got her ass off and left, which is what Biggie should have fucking done as well. Because it's like, girl, you sitting here complaining, but get your fucking ass off the goddamn bus. Jesus. So they talked about that. Then when Scotty and Jayla came in, now if you guys keep up with if you guys keep up with the tea, feel free to leave it in the comment section because I don't know what Scotty was talking about with this whole Natalie stuff, but apparently I guess Natalie wasn't too pleased that Jayla and Scotty went to Milan with Lemmy, and so she has some stuff to say about Scotty on the live. I don't know, don't keep up with it. So Scotty decides that she wants to address Natalie. I was like, why? I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm probably gonna say it again later in the review. Why the fuck is Scotty here? Scotty is pregnant. All this show does is nothing but physical violence. Why do y'all have a pregnant woman in the mix of this shit? And again, I'm gonna bring it up again later because Natalie had texted girls about going to this place, right? So everybody makes it there. Jayla's like, everybody, I see everybody here, but there is no Natalie here. Natalie don't want to mix and mingle with you girls. And that's weird. That's also very weird to me, Natalie, that you want to be a part of this show. And I get it. Her security died. So rest in peace to him. I get that. But you've been doing this for the last few seasons where you don't really interact with the girls, but you want to be a cast member on this show. Again, very weird to me, but hey, we can move on. So Rolly tried to go up and hug Dolly, but Dolly was like, nah, she don't want to hug. She didn't want to hug. She wanted to fight. And a fight is what she got because when she said that, Cold Killer came up and punched her in the face. I was like, well, damn. So they got to fighting. Then she fought Tavy. Now I don't know who made Dolly's face because Dolly has blood on her face. They were trying to get the blood off of her face at one point, and she was like, "Fuck the blood." She didn't care. Then Tavy's mouth is bleeding. I was like, "Oh God." Then Tavy wanted to go another round with her, but Dolly was like, "Nah, I'm not going another round with you." So then she fought two more rounds with Cold Killer. I was like, "Why you fight Cold Killer and not Tavy?" Very interesting, but okay, whatever. I don't really give a damn. This is the other point where I was going to say, why is Scotty here? So at one point in the episode, Dolly took a bottle and threw it. Good thing Scotty ducked, but Scotty had to duck. I was like, why do y'all have a pregnant woman in this bullshit? Like, this is dumb. But hey, if they like it, I love it, which I don't. So after that, Dolly kept saying, fuck Cold Killer's daughter. I was like, that is low. Even Lex had to tell her, like, Dolly, you ain't got to bring up her daughter. And she kept saying, fuck her daughter, fuck her daughter. And she's like, is that supposed to make me cry or something? Which is, I mean, it's just weird to bring up her kids. Now, if somebody bring up your family members, you ain't gonna like it. You're gonna be ready to fight them, Dolly. So think like it's weird, right? So they, like I said, they fought at least 2 or 3 rounds that I can remember, right? So then at the end of the episode, we did see as it was Dolly, Lex, and I can't remember who I think the girls that weird girl with that thing that got that eyeball on her forehead in her interview. I can't think of what her name is. Smiley. I know Smiley was there, and I can't remember who else was having a conversation, but they were talking about what happened with Tavy, and they talked about what happened with Tavy and with what's that girl's name? Dolly. I still don't understand it on the bus, and I don't really care. So we can move on from that. So Summer and her cousins show up ready to fight Dolly. I was like, Summer, you a weak ass person if you literally had to go get a group of girls to come back to fight Dolly and you can't do it yourself. That's some weak ass shit, in my personal opinion. Now, if you have a thing, if you're worried about like people jumping you, then cool. I'm okay with you bringing your peoples with you to make sure that shit don't pop off and you get jumped. But if you bring people to fight somebody because you can't fight, then that's weak in my personal opinion, right? So Summer comes up on the side of Dolly and is trying to check Dolly, and Dolly hauls off and smacks the shit out of Summer, right? Beating her ass. They fought a good 2 rounds. Lex, however, is upset about the fact that her friends are fighting, right? I was like, Lex, I don't know if some of your friend that you want to be crying over, but okay. So Tasiki went to go check on Dolly. And she was like, your friend over there crying. And she was like, who? And she was like, Lex. And she's like, oh, Lex crying because someone said she ate her pussy. I said, huh? So Tasiki goes up to someone like, why you keep talking about pussy? I was like, why do you keep talking about pussy? So Summer says that she ate Lex pussy and Lex ate her pussy. I said, God, what the fuck? I mean, okay, if y'all like it, I don't love it because y'all are just weird because now y'all are really airing each other's business out, and it's just it makes you look at them sideways because I questioned their friendship last season. It always felt like a friendship of convenience, more so for Summer than it was for Lex and Dolly. Because the thing about Lex and Dolly we know is Lex and Dolly will fight. They don't really duck fades, right? Summer runs her mouth and doesn't have any hands. Whereas with Lex and Dolly, those two they will fight, right? Win, lose, or draw. So that's why I always felt like Summer linked so heavily with them last season because she knew that those girls would have her back no matter what. So I never really felt like it was a real, true, genuine friendship from Summer's part, right? And look at it. In this episode, she airs out Dolly's talking about Dolly does coke, right? And now she's talking about Lex ate her pussy and she ate Lex's pussy. Who needed to know that? Why is that coming up, Summer? You weirdo. But that's the episode. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.